what I got at the second-hand shop. Wanna see my score?
What's the real cost of packaging? In order to understand the social, economic, and environmental costs of packaging, Conor Leggett and Ashley Prince are taking part in a 30-day garbage reduction challenge. The rules are as follows. Each gets a small garbage can. Whoever has the least amount of garbage at the end of 30 days wins. Garbage will be weighed to determine the winner. Only garbage counts. This does not include recycling or compost. However, they will try to cut down on the amount of compost and recycling they produce. Garbage, recycling, and compost will be determined by the Waste Watch program from Island Waste Management Company of Prince Edward Island. If garbage is shared by both Ashley and Conor, for example food, the garbage will be cut or ripped in half and shared. When out of the house, each of them will take a garbage bag to collect any garbage they produce. In doing the garbage reduction challenge, Conor and Ashley are competing to see who will send the least garbage to the landfill.
We're just going to show off what our garbage was today.
My first piece was saran wrap. I made Conor a wonderful tuna sandwich for lunch, and the extra tuna I put in the fridge and covered this with it, not even thinking that it was garbage.
And second thing, we finished off a block of cheese. And so we each got some of the cheese wrapper. I think one of the things we're probably going to find is that there will be a lot of food wrappers. We'll see how the rest of the competition plays out.
I wanted to get some new boots for the winter. One of the big deterrents from buying them was all the packaging that was involved. Everything was wrapped in paper and plastic, and it was just an excessive amount of packaging for just a pair of boots.
We went to the grocery store for the first time since starting our challenge. It's the first time we've really paid attention to packaging. The meat section, I think we're gonna have a really hard time buying meat because all the meat is wrapped in plastic wrapping.
We were really craving ice cream, and we're like, yeah, we can get a box of ice cream, and no, we can't because it's covered in plastic.
So I think we're just gonna have to hope for the best when we go to the farmer's market this weekend. We had an interesting weekend. We went to a Halloween party, so we had to get our Halloween costumes ready. And normally stuff like duct tape is a staple in creating Halloween costumes. But with our garbage competition, we can't use as much of that because it's all a lot of waste. So we had to figure out some creative ways to make our costumes. So Ashley, in making her cards costume, could not tape cards together. She had to pin them to each other and then pin them to a shirt, and it was very creative. And my costume was a cribbage board, and I just recycled one of the cardboard boxes we'd used in moving in, and then used shoelaces and just markers to tie it together and make it all fancy.
Halloween was a bit of a challenge. We were both at school or work on Halloween day, and I found a lot of people were trying to throw candies at us and chocolate bars that are covered in plastic wrapping, and it was incredibly hard to resist them. From the beginning, I did not think I was going to win at all, just because of the fact that I am a girl and that I would have waste such as tampons and pads that Conor would not. However, I still am in the running as I found an alternative to using those, and it's called the Diva Cup. It comes in a nice little package like this. This was the first time I'd ever used it. It was recommended to me by a friend, and it's quite effective. It's also a Canadian company that produces these. They're based out of Kitchener, Ontario, so you would be supporting Canadian business, which is also a plus.
So, Ashley, what just happened?
I broke a glass.
Uh-oh. How did that happen?
It fell in the dishwater. I don't want to talk about it.
Are you gonna put it in your garbage bin?
Maybe.
Maybe? Sounds like you're preparing to cheat.
I would never do such a thing.
You broke it. You put it in the garbage.
I don't like you right now. I'm still gonna beat you.
Are you gonna wrap that in something so it doesn't hurt anybody?
That'll be more garbage.
So, are you risking
Yes.
other people for the sake of winning?
Yes.
You're cutthroat. You're cutthroat with a broken glass.
Finally, those walls came crashing to the ground. That king came.
It's day 21 of our challenge, and this is how much garbage I have so far. This is about 1/2 of a bin from 3 weeks of living. One thing though that I'm noticing, as today I need to throw out my deodorant, I'm noticing a trend, is that the things that either have the most packaging or are just plain waste are usually things that are associated with either safety or cleanliness. Deodorant is for hygiene, it's for cleanliness. The packaging on meat is for safety and sanitation. Even the toothbrush I got at the dentist today is sealed in plastic wrap. So it's amazing that all of these things that are supposed to keep us clean and safe are just producing more garbage, which is not clean and not safe.
So how can you stay clean without creating waste?
So at the beginning of the challenge, Connor and I decided to use handkerchiefs and hand towels as opposed to Kleenex and paper towel to wipe our hands or blow our nose. We've been carrying around hand towels, and that hasn't worked very well for me. I always forget to bring it into the washroom with me, so I end up usually air drying them. In terms of the handkerchief, I feel like an old man carrying it around. There's this constant huge bulge in... It seems a little off, but I am adjusting, and it has kind of opened my eyes as to how much I do use Kleenexes and how much waste that creates.
One of the things that we are doing because of our garbage reduction challenge is we're eating a lot more vegetables, because it's really easy to get vegetables from the market or from organic vegetable delivery, and those don't have any packaging on them. And then to go alongside that, we're gonna have some beef that we just bought today from the Queen Street Meat Market. And the great thing about beef from the meat market is that there's no plastic on it. So we don't have to worry about the garbage. Look at this. This is in nice paper. We can put it in the compost. It's perfect. And it's good island beef.
What's going on, Connor?
So I did something really dumb last night. I left a pot of vegetable stock on the stove and forgot about it. So all the water evaporated and the vegetables started burning to the bottom of the pot. It burned a crusty pot, and she promptly reminded me that it's garbage now, that I have to throw it out. And while this would normally be a competition-ending event, I've decided to strive on and clean out this pot, however long it takes me.
We only have 2 days left of our competition, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna win. I'm very happy to have it over with. I find myself becoming more sloppy in terms of what I buy. I'm just not careful, and for example, the other day I needed to buy buttons to fix my winter jacket, and all the buttons come in packages with plastic and paper, and it was just, I felt very defeated. It was like, I just want to fix my jacket. I don't want to have to buy something that has used more packaging or more materials. I just want to reuse what I have, and even that's hard to do without creating waste. I mean, the amount of waste that was there is very minimal, but it still has contributed, and I hope that doesn't push me over the edge and I lose, which I won't.
So it looks like both Ashley and I are going to have less than our garbage cans filled. We're still both only at 1/2 or 2/3 of our little small garbage cans, so it's going to come down to who has just a little bit less as to who's going to win the competition, which is obviously going to be me. Alright, after you. Heaviest goes first.
Are we still talking about the garbage?
Yeah, oh! Ouch.
So mine's close to 450 grams.
Alright. Have you been putting your garbage into mine? Oh, I guess not. I'm only at 300.
Yeah, 320.
Whatever. For the record, when I sweep, I always put it in my bag because I'm gallant.
If I do the kitchen, I'll put it into yours.
But really, I think the biggest surprise was how easy this competition was. And a lot of it had to do with sorting the garbage appropriately, putting it in compost or in waste or recycling it as it may call for. We did have to pay a little bit more attention to what we bought, and I think we might have spent a little bit more money than we previously did, but in the end, I think it was worth it because we ended up eating a lot healthier food. The only way to really get in the habit of reducing your waste is by making it a habit, by doing it every day. And whether you need to do that by way of a silly competition or by any other means, then go for it.
Be the change, be the change, be the change that you want to see in the world. Be the change that you want.